Yay! My little dance partner. What are they doing? Hello. Who's bad? Michael's bad. I love a good 80s classic. Who is with me? Hey, you guys. Good morning. Hello. Good day to you. How is it going? I hope that you're rocking this thing called life, feeling really good about it. Today, I'm going to chat with you guys about paradigms. I want you to lean in because I might be introducing some of you to a completely different concept that's going to help make sense of a lot of, okay? Because this is the reason why, despite everything you've ever done, all the courses you've taken, all the books you've read, all the things you've done, okay? You keep getting the same results over and over and over again. Yes? You're like, seriously, what gives? Or you might like take like a small leap. That's not the leap you want, right? It's the reason why, like I said, you read all those self-help books and you follow all the inspirational people on social media, but what you think is that they're an anomaly, that their results could never be your results. Because this is your truth, or so it would seem. It's actually not the truth at all. It's called your paradigm. But don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, more than 90% of the population on this earth keeps getting the same results, year in, year out, over and over again. In school, in relationships, in business, in life, you name it. Because how you do one thing is how you do all things, because it's habit. There may be small improvements over time, right? And it's the same reason why when your collective agreement is negotiated every year, a couple of years, and you get a 2% raise, you're like, wow. When your financial advisor gets you a 2% increase on your stocks, woo, 2%, right? You're saying, well, Delyn, are you telling me not to be happy with what I have, right? What I'm saying is you don't have to be excited about the small improvements because that's just what it is, right? It's small. It's not significant enough to have a huge impact on your life, right? And so many think, well, I just have to work harder. Just have to work harder. And then end up with nothing more than frustration, which then causes them to fall back, right? To think small and settle, to be happy with mediocrity. This is their paradigm. This is your paradigm that's holding you back. Just like it's your paradigm that's doing 96% of everything that you do. Okay, so what is a paradigm really? Simply put, it's your thoughts, your habits. They've all been ingrained in you since you were a child. It's like a computer programmer or a phone programmer or whatever device you're on right now. They've installed things onto the hard drive. Your paradigm is the hard drive of your mind. Okay, and it is controlling you 96% of the time. 96% of everything you do is because of this mental program. And it has almost exclusive control over all of your behavior. And your behavior is what gets your results, right? So when you get up in the morning till the time you go to bed, you follow a routine. When you hop in the shower, I bet you wash the same parts in the same order. When you drive somewhere, so say you're driving from work to home or home to work or somewhere that you go frequently, have you ever had it where you're like, I don't remember driving home or driving here? It's because you can do it on autopilot. Okay? From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. The way you eat, the way you exercise, the way you work, the way you relax, all of it. All of it, all day long, all habits. And this is why how you do one thing is how you'll do all things. And you'll notice this. If you shy away from things that you perceive as hard and you half-ass them, you probably do that for everything. Just pay attention, right? Because it will also control the areas of your life that you don't even suspect. Your perception, how you spend your time, your creativity, your effectiveness, your productivity, your logic, your ability to earn money, your ability to maintain relationships. And I bet anybody who's ever had a relationship before, you can look and go, gosh, like I either keep going for the same type of people, or they all end the same way, or they all progress the same way. Habit. And it's deep. Your paradigm sets up boundaries all over these aspects of your life, plus more. Those are just a few that I've named, right? When you were young, and even now that you're an adult, no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to knock down those barriers. Even if you get ahead 1 month, you may get knocked back the next month. And at the end of the year, you'll notice you're in the exact same place as you were. I get it. I've been there. I've been there. I had a financial barrier that I put up. And my paradigm kept saying to me, Delyn, be happy with what you're earning. That's a lot of money. But it wasn't really enough to do what I wanted to do in this world. The impact that I wanted to have, how much I wanted to give, how much I wanted to experience, right? Your paradigm is like a thermostat. So picture the thermostat in your house, okay? If I have mine set at 70 degrees, if someone opens up my front door, it is cold in Southern Ontario right now. If someone opens up that door and leaves it open, eventually my thermostat is going to kick on the heat, however it works. It has a cybernetic mechanism built into it, just like these computers and phones and everything else does too, right? But your thermostat will always bring back your house to whatever you have it set at. That is what your paradigm does for you, right? So you're thinking, I don't know if this applies to me, but really think about it. And here's how it's formed. And even if you're thinking, Delyn, you're nuts, right? Think about it. It actually will make a lot of sense for you. You might be thinking, my life's great. I get everything I want. And I come back and ask, do you really? Do you really get everything that you want? Or are you content with what you have? Or are you just, I'm just so grateful to have a full-time job with benefits and a pension? Or is that what you really want? Like really, really? And it's not to say you can't have that and something else. That's a whole different topic. That's a whole different ball of wax there, right? But I may have caught your attention because you might be saying, yeah, maybe I am just settling because that's all I know. I grew up with parents that had benefits and pensions, or maybe you grew up watching your parents not have those things, and it was so deeply ingrained in you that you have to go to school and you have to get one of these jobs. You'll do it for 30 years and then you can have fun, right? And again, there's nothing wrong with that if you're actually doing what you want to do, right? Because that's the thing. Everybody has a paradigm, and we didn't create it ourselves. We inherited it through genetic and environmental conditioning. You were programmed by your parents and ancestors, their DNA. That's why you might look like a family member. There's also epigenetics. So again, a whole different topic. But your beliefs and how you were raised, it goes back generations. Pretty much everything you were exposed to as a young child became part of your paradigm. This is because when you're a child, you didn't have a true conscious mind yet, because you didn't have anything to compare it to. You didn't have any experiences yet. You were just born. You were a baby, right? So you accepted everything that came in through your senses. You truly were living from the outside in because you didn't have a conscious mind, right? You rejected nothing. You went by what you see, smell, taste, touch, hear. Ultimately, whatever happened around you went right into your subconscious mind. Any ideas you were exposed to over and over and over again. These are like seeds that are planted in the soil of your mind, right? And you know, kids are like sponges, soak in everything, right? But they took root and they became part of your story, part of your belief system, which is your paradigm. And it controls every aspect of your life. Think of how you learned your name. Your parents just didn't say to you, okay, your name's Delyn. Remember that, okay? Remember that. I'm never going to say it again. No, I learned my name because my parents and everybody that surrounded me called me that. But I could also change my name, right? I can go down to the courthouse right now and change my name. It's not who I am. Who I am is in my subconscious. How did you learn the language you speak? Right? You could pick me up as a child born in Canada and drop me in China, and I wouldn't speak English. I would speak Chinese or whatever I was raised saying, and vice versa. Right? You could pick up a baby born in Canada and bring me to Australia, and I would have an accent. I would learn the dialect, right? And vice versa. There is so much that is ingrained in you, right? And here's the kicker. Unlike our skill to play hot cross buns on the recorder, did everybody else learn that in school? Come on, you know you learned hot cross buns on the recorder. That was super important, right? Guess what? We're not taught about paradigms in school. So here we are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, however old you are later, living the same way we were programmed as kids. Living with the same stories that our parents, grandparents, teachers taught us. That may have not have been even their truth, let alone our truth. Right? But now we've been exposed to these beliefs and stories for so long that they run deep. They run deep. Most of them aren't even true. They weren't our parents' truth. They're not my truth. And yet they control us 96% of the time. Only 4% of the time are we actually engaged consciously. The rest is habit. Look it up. It's true. And I get the question all the time. How do I determine what is actually my paradigm and what is a conscious thought? And the best way to identify your paradigm is to look at your current results. Okay? And as a trained person to do this, I could spend a day with you and understand exactly understand your paradigm. But I encourage you to take a few minutes to picture your life and consider some questions, right? Does your day begin with purpose and with gratitude? Or are you like, I gotta get up, another day, another dollar? Do you move through your day with like laser focus? Or are you squirreling out all the time, just distracted? You never finish what you actually started. And if you do finish it, it's like completely half done. What's the most amount of money you've ever made in a year? And did I trigger you with that one? Did you go, what? She wants to know how much money I made? Does that even matter? I don't care about money. I don't need money. Is that you? Are you that guy? That's okay. You're not alone. I used to be that guy too. It's okay. Are you living the way you really want to live? Yes? No? Why not? Are you in a relationship that's fulfilling you, that you love? How's your relationship with yourself? There's like so many questions that you could ask, and you'll be able to point out and you'll know through the feeling that you have inside. Okay? Your paradigm is loud, which is why it controls you 86% of the time. Your intuition, on the other hand, is quiet. It's so quiet, but it's that thought before the big thought. It's the thought before the thought, right? That's the one you want to listen to. So I know you're thinking like, oh, damn, I'm screwed. I have all these paradigms. What do I do? Right? The good news is if you're not happy with your results, what you're getting out of it, if you'd like to do better, you can do something about it. Just like if I didn't like my name, I could go down to the courthouse and change it. Or I want to introduce a new way of eating, even though I grew up on meat and potatoes. If I choose to be vegan, I can be. You can change the stories that you tell yourself. And you can also tell yourself that it can be easy, not hard, not force, not grind, not hustle. You will never hear me use those words. Because those words feel like crap. Who wants to grind, work hard? I used to like pride myself on being a hard worker. Oh, I'm such a hard worker. Right? I don't want anything to be hard because it's not meant to be hard. But you have to know you can't change your paradigm with your will alone. Okay? You have to understand that there's two ways that it was put into you, and there's two ways to get it out. The first one is emotional impact. Okay? That is something that it hits you hard, and your life will never be the same because of it. It's usually negative in nature, but it can also be something positive. 9/11 was that for a lot of people. Corona Sharona might be that for some people. It's the way people look at life, right? The second way, because I'm not here to traumatize you, to change your paradigm is the same way that it was formed. Just like I heard my name over and over and over again. I ate the same food over and over and over again. I was spoken to in English over and over and over again. The key is in repetition of ideas. Okay? You have to expose yourself to a new idea that actually serves you over and over and over and over again, and replace those old beliefs. That's the key. I love to dive into this with people. It is honestly one of my greatest joys to support people as they wake up. They wake up and actually live the life that they want to lead. It's so awesome to shift their paradigm into one that is actually serving them. Kind of like what I'll be doing this weekend. I hope you guys are registered for the paradigm shift that's happening on Saturday and Sunday. But in a nutshell, first you have to consciously choose a new belief that is aligned with the results that you want to get. And then build habits that reinforce those beliefs, right? Then you impress that idea by focusing on it, visualizing it, repeating the feeling in your conscious over and over and over again. You must consciously and deliberately replace bad habits with good habits. Otherwise, you're going to identify a bad habit and replace it with another bad habit. You're going to swear you're going to stop hanging out at the bar drinking, and you're going to walk right across the street to the casino and start gambling, or vice versa, right? If you have an addictive personality, if that's what you're calling it, think about how many bad habits you've just replaced with other bad habits, or people that you know that are doing this over and over again. I know so many people that are like, ooh, I'm not drinking as much anymore, but I can't get off my phone. Also an addiction, right? It's so cool. But doesn't it feel good that you know that you can change your thoughts to get the results you want? And know that it doesn't have to be like a huge shift. Sometimes it's like Tony Robbins calls it the 2mm shift. There's a really good book called The Slight Edge. It's just a slight shift, right? It doesn't have to be, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, so now I'm living off air and water after I've been, eating a Big Mac every day. Like, that's not the shift you're looking for. That's not sustainable. You might think, oh, that's a little exaggerated, Dylan. Nobody actually wants to live off air and water. But there's a ton of people for their New Year's resolutions. They were going to get healthier, right? We are officially at that point, right? 6 weeks into your New Year's resolution is when 80% of the people stop. It's done, right? Changing just a small part of the old paradigm can make such a huge difference in the results that you can then use in the rest of your life, personally and professionally. I know when I had my paradigm shift, I went into it because I wanted to have more than a 2% increase in my work, in my compensation, right? And not only did I come out of it and I've 10x'd my business, but I'm telling you, I mom different, I wife different, I daughter different. My relationship with myself is different. I no longer thrive on being a hard worker with all the hustle, right? But I don't want you to make the mistake that you cannot change your life permanently until you change your paradigm. Not permanently. And yes, there's people that have done it, but they don't know how they did it, which means they then aren't going to set new goals and then do it all over again, right? You will continue to get the 2% raise every year. Or you will get out of a bad relationship and then start dating the same kind of person. Or get the same kind of job, or get the same kind of unfulfilled whatever. You'll move from one house to another house that's good, but it's not actually what you want. Like if you were to actually set a goal, right? Regardless of how many times you might have tried, you can get far better results in your life. You have everything that you need already. Everything. You were legit made from the same stuff as some of the most successful people that you can think of. Right? I know that my results changed when I made the conscious decision to up level who was helping me with it. When I got a coach that was supporting me, guiding me, holding me accountable. So when I tried to get my own way, she was like, nah, not happening. So if you want to turn your deepest desires into actual, real life, lasting results, I got you. It's what I do. If you're hesitant and going, just sign up for the paradigm shift that's coming up. Test drive the goods. I promise you will love it. I promise you will see results in 1 weekend. More results than you've seen in your entire life. How cool is that? Right? Have the ability to do anything that you want. I have a name for my paradigm. Her name is Linda. And I used to think that her and I weren't friends. But now I know that we can totally partner up and like go gangbusters on this life. I just have to get her thinking what I want her to think. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. No, ain't no one got time for that, right? So cool. Thank you guys so much for joining.